arm drags. So a good technique to bring into your actual skill set is the ability to drag a person's arm so that you can actually flank them. Now there is an inherent danger to using arm drags when striking from Luk Sau and Chi Sau. If I go to actually do an arm drag and I stand directly in front of him like this, if he's any good, he's just going to crack me straight in the face because I'm quite open to it. So arm drags would be in an opportunity where you have actually got a moment to not get hit in the face, or you're already kind of flanking them. So I've got a subtle flank to a degree, so it might be a good opportunity to get behind Carlsen. So you want to be cautious using them, right? But they are a good tool to be able to get behind an opponent, which of course is a massive advantage in self-defense, flanking the opponent or getting behind them. So first, let's just look at the way the arm drag works. Essentially, you want to be controlling at the wrist to a degree. You can drag without a level of control, but it's just, so you see I can still drag there, but it's quite easy for him to just pull his arm up and free, and then there's nothing to drag. So you do want to have a level of control generally at the wrist to prevent him from escaping. I then get my hand underneath his armpit, so I have so I use the Phuc Sau shape to latch at the armpit, and from here I pull this, keep this down lower towards his hips, and I pull with both arms across my body. Now to make this even more effective, we will step out to the side at the same time, step out to the side and turn to face his back. So let's just look at the arm mechanics first. Hand captured, usually at the wrist, arm underneath the armpit, and then I drag it across my body, this way. Now you couple this with a step and a pivot. So I step as I drag, and then I can pivot this way as well. So once I capture it, the stepping out to the side is quite good really, because it really diminishes his ability to strike me with his other hand. So if we're in a Luk Sau or Chi Sau sparring situation and I see an opportunity, by stepping here, you see how I diminish his ability to hit me with that hand because of the place I'm coming to. Then from here I can start to pivot my other foot around to get an opportunity to go behind. Okay, so what that would look like is from here, capture the wrist, the armpit, as I step and pull at the same time, and then pivot my other foot out of the way. Then from here now, I'll be looking at his back. So these are from wrestling, arm drags, but you do have the movement in Wing Chun as well. It's the Phuc Sau, yeah, which we're going to do in later videos, do snap downs as well, because they're a good addition from standing. So once again, now we apply it in Chi Sau. It's when you have an opportunity to capture their hand lower than their shoulder. Yeah. For example, I might go around the outside of his Phuc Sau, like when I'm at bottom tan, around the outside of the Phuc Sau, come down and through. Step, go behind. Yeah. And from here, you can just control and strike. Yeah. One more time. From Chi Sau, here, control. Yeah. You can see it's kind of like I'm using a trap as well. From here, I switch to control the wrist. Feed through to the armpit, and I'm lucky that I've got both of his hands under this. If they weren't there, if his hand was out here, he could be able to strike. So remember, that's why we step as we do it. So now if Carlsen tries to hit with the right hand, it's going to be harder, because now I turn and come behind. All right. So Carlsen has a turn. In the lower position, he switches, yeah, grabs my wrist, drives through, steps out. Okay, he wants to grab me, he wants to hug me. So that's fine. If you want to grab them and use them as a shield, that's fine. You're probably best off. If you want, you could also even strangle them as well. But it's valid. But street self-defense, it's generally speaking, it's better to have mobility. Generally speaking, if it is guaranteed one-on-one, then a strangulation is amazing. But let's just practice the drag here. So, once again, Carlsen switches hands to capture the wrist, Switches around to capture the wrist. Capture the wrist, yeah.
good.
Feeds his other hand through to the armpit. Steps across so I can't crack him in the head, so he steps across. Feeds to my back. If he wants to strangle, fine. But I personally prefer continuing to strike if it's a real self-defense situation. So you've got behind him and then you've got elbows you can utilize in this close range position. Alrighty, they're arm drags. Practice them slowly and you can throw them then into your luxau. So the way you can practice them, and we'll go into this later, is in conditional rounds. So while you're doing luxau, you can say, okay, the only tool we're allowed to use apart from balance control and defending is actually going into arm drags. Yeah? So you can practice arm dragging whilst chi sauing. Okay, any questions? Put them into the community and I look forward to seeing you on our next lesson.